Hello. Uh, my apologies. I did not post on Friday because I forgot, and then I said I'd post on Saturday, and then I just procrastinated a whole bunch of stuff. So then I forgot again, and then on Sunday it's Sunday, so Sunday is always a Sunday. Yeah, but I don't know tomorrow. And I wanted to record on Sunday too, bro, cause like Sunday was such a good ass day. Sunday was such a beautiful, perfect day. It was so warm and sunny and calm and chill. Oh, sorry. Yeah, fixing my sock. Sunday was so nice, dog. I don't know. That was one of the best Sundays, best looking Sundays I've ever felt, ever like experienced, dog. That was beautiful. Like, yeah, bro. Usually it's like it. Hey, bro. Usually it just feels hot and just a little irritating because here like our church starts at 1, so like it's like half the day of preparing for church, and then when you think you have time to relax, all right, let's go to church, guys. Yeah, and then we come back at like 4 5 p.m., which basically the day is over by then. Or nah, but like no, it feels like the day is over because I'm being pessimistic because I don't like church starting so late. But yeah, no. On Sunday, I really like it was chill. It had Sunday like I had like an undertone type of attitude of like today is a day, today is not another Sunday. Today is not another day where church is gonna start at 1 p.m. and it's gonna be tiring and irritating. Today is just a day, So I definitely think that made the day much better, reframing how I saw the day. But the day was also just so perfect. The sun was beaming beautifully. There was a beautiful amount of clouds in the sky. This like it was beautifully blue and stuff. It looked brighter, bro. I don't know. But yeah, Sunday was nice. But yeah, no, I was also just like thinking on Sunday too. But also I think or maybe like it was also I don't know, on Monday or something. I was just like I was just like, bro, church starting at 1 p.m. is not really that much big of an inconvenience. That's really just what I decided it was. It's an adjustment, but it's been like this for a year, and I need to learn how to adapt and grow, you know, and yeah, and so like I need to reframe how I see this situation, like just grow from that, dog. It's not another Sunday where church is gonna start later and my energy is gonna be down, cause like that's me pre-decide every Saturday night, every Sunday morning. I just pre-decide for myself, okay, it's gonna be an exhausting, irritating morning, and then after the church I'm not gonna have enough time to do the homework I didn't do on Saturday. um I'm gonna be tired. I'm gonna, just me pre-deciding and stuff. And Sunday before church, it felt like it didn't feel rushed. It didn't feel like, okay, I have to go to church. I have to go to church. I have to go to church. It just felt like, wow, today's such a beautiful day, you know. And after church was also the same. It wasn't like, okay, it's now because church started late, now it ended late, and now I have less time to do homework, which by itself is just stupid as well because like I come home from school at 2 half past 2 p.m. and I procrastinate and watch my phone for 3 hours, which then it's 5 p.m. Most of the time it's 6 7 8 by the time I actually start homework. So yeah, bro, I'm stupid, but I'm learning. Also my teeth are getting whiter again, so yeah. That yeah. I can't even say that's random. That's just what it is. Let me okay. Let me just try and do a thumbnail real quick because I need to do thumbnails, bro. Cause like yeah, nah. One of the last videos I had a trash thumbnail, dog. So like it'll be like a yeah, that's good. That's good. Alright. Okay, dope. So yeah, man. Mm, I'm in theater. I did my auditions today. Like I said before, I'm auditioning for two roles because like I don't okay, I'm not sure if I actually said that before, but basically I should really start sectioning out my videos, bro. Like no, not sectioning out, but like just doing different videos. I can't keep dumping different pieces of information like this that deserve their own videos. And I'm trying not to do 20-minute videos. I'm trying to do 15-minute or less, and I talk too much. Oh yeah. Anyways, yeah. Basically, I auditioned for a lead role, which I wasn't originally planning for. Right? Basically, I was. No one's gonna watch this. I might as well just say it. Basically, it's a jammed up like parody or whatever of like Aladdin and some other stuff, and basically there was a role of a police chief, you know, who speaks in a lot of P's, which attracted me to the character because P is my favorite alphabet letter of the alphabet. Yeah. So like I was so yeah, I was like, okay, let me audition for that, right? And so one of the days last week or 2 week not 2 weeks ago, um the auditions began, right? And one of the main characters is Aladdin, of course. And they were like, all right, everybody who wants to audition for Aladdin and Jasmine, yeah, Jasmine come out stage and stuff. And so my friends go up there, and everyone else goes up there, and I'm sitting and I'm like, all right, soon it's gonna be my turn up there on the stage and stuff. Yeah, so then they're doing the stuff, the sets, right? The different people come on, and then uh the girls sitting next to me, we're in the hall. The girls like sitting next to me, and they're like, "Hey yo, why don't you go audition for Aladdin?" And I'm like, "That's not the role I auditioned for, right?" And then they're like, "Yeah, but like, why don't you? And like, yeah, they're like, "Yeah, I just I didn't audition for it, cause like I'm stubborn like that, like because I didn't commit to doing that. I committed to doing this secondary main character, you know. And then one of the girls who I initially had a beef with like 2, 3 years ago, she was just like, okay, but what if you're actually good at it? And I was just like, coming from her. And she said stuff like that before, right? But it's still she said like one or two things like that are just like encouraging to me, and which I'm just like, okay, because we had beef. It wasn't nah, we didn't have beef, but like, let's just say there was we had a childish storyline 2, 3 years ago. Yeah, it wasn't beef, it was just a childish storyline. And so coming from her, I was just like, huh. Right. And so yeah, she was like, okay, but what if you're good at it? And I said, right, and I said, then I stared at the ground like, you know and obviously I've grown as a person, and so in my mind I'm like, because I've grown so much, in my mind I'm like, there's literally no reason why I shouldn't audition for this. There's literally no reason. And so I'm just like, yeah, let me go. And so I give them my phone. There was three girls. I gave them my phone, and one of my friends who went to audition, I gave them the his phone and stuff. And then I ran up the stage and I'm like, yo sir, can I audition for two for more than one role, and he's like, of course. Well, I'd like to audition for Aladdin. Can you run me by the situation again? I'm on the stage, and right before it's my turn, the bell rings. Yeah, and yeah, this was 2 weeks ago, and last week we were supposed to do continue auditions, but the random stuff happened during the sports periods. So yeah, today was a sports period, so I was able to audition for Aladdin, but it wasn't in the hall this time, it was outside, which, again, did not commit to, but okay, this one obviously is not like I really had a choice. But like I was able to get over the fact that okay, we're not doing it in the hall anymore, we're doing it in an unfamiliar environment. Get over it. We're doing this. And yeah, it was bad. It was bad. I thought I was projecting my voice good enough, but I wasn't. But I did it, and I wasn't all shy. Obviously, I showed nerves, but I wasn't all oh hey, basically the premise was okay, you are Aladdin, you are broke, and you are broke, establish yourself and introduce Jasmine, and Jasmine is looking for a love interest and you're looking for a love interest, but obviously Jasmine is a princess and you're that thing. And yeah, so like I was like, hello guy. Dog. It was so I was so under pressure, because I had 2 weeks just to like ish do, but I yeah procrastinated a bunch, but you know yeah, but like I was just like, hey guys, how we doing? Hey, yo, my name is Aladdin, aka Prince Aladdin, aka Diamond in the Rough, guys. I'm out here looking for love and stuff, blah blah blah. Yeah, no, I definitely looked unprepared and nervous. Even in the beginning, I stuttered a few times, but then like I had the confidence to just be like, sir, okay, sorry sir, okay, okay. I jumped around and stuff. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. The Jasmines were also pretty. They weren't bad, but they were bad, but not bad. You know what I'm saying? 14%. Can I turn on? Please don't do nothing. Okay, cool, cool. Uh, Anyways, the Jasmines, yeah, they were, yeah, they were bad. The first one was also not projecting loud enough. I knew she wasn't projecting loud enough, but I didn't think I wasn't projecting loud enough. Even in the beginning, I like breathed in and out and stuff, and like be like, and I was like, okay, speak from the diaphragm to project yourself, because my voice is very soft. But yeah, I thought I was projecting, but I wasn't, and I only realized when like I got off, and I was like, damn, I am not getting chosen. Yeah, but I got off and like yeah, I got off and yeah, I wasn't on the stage. We were outside. The the other kids that were in other sports, they were like on the fields and stuff. We were around the classes, so obvious. So yeah, yeah. Anyways, I got off right, and one of the guy and some guy, nah, not some guy, I know him, right? We have interacted 3 times or something. A few times. Basically, he just comes close. He played the main character in last year's play. Last year we were doing Shrek, and yeah, we were doing Shrek, and he played Shrek. And hey, this guy, hey bro, he ish. Nah, this guy ish, bruh. This guy is that guy. Yeah, this guy, yeah. He auditioned for another main character of the role, which was like King Ebenezer, who's like, I think he's like Jafar, but I don't know. But yeah, no, he like came to me and he was like, "Yo, bro, let me give like dog, let me give you some advice, dog." He didn't talk like that, that I'm just, but he's like, "Okay, you have to practice, projecting your voice." Okay, next door neighbors are locking. I thought my mom's was coming. Yeah, just in case you forgot, I have my own room in the back room. It's in the back room of the yard, and so separated from the house. The house is like outside the door. The door doesn't have a lock, which is obviously concerning. But hold on, hold on. Yeah. Let me pause. I sleep with this by my bedside. Yeah, gotta have a fighting chance. There's a chair right here. I put it by the door because my bed is close to the door. So, like, I put my chair there to block and stuff. Yeah. If I'm not too deep asleep, I will wake up hearing the noise, and I will prepare. Or I'll just be like, who's coming, and wait until I see the person's body coming in, and by the time I see the person's whole body, I'll be like, oh snap. Pretend to be asleep, or just gun for the bat, which I most likely won't do. But anyways, yeah, he's like, hey bro, they're testing for projection to see how well you can project yourself. And I was like, oh snap, was I not projecting? Because I was preparing to project. Apologies once again. Cause like I was preparing to project, but yeah, no, he was like, nah, bro, we can't hear you, right? So that was number one, and then number two, he was like, dog, when you're doing the character, dog, you gotta get out of yourself. When you're the character, you are the character. You are not yourself anymore. So, like, what you're doing with your hand. Yeah, the first thing he said was like, don't try to be realistic or something. He said like, don't try to make realistic movements. Cause like, yeah, I was trying to just like be real and stuff and just walk around and all that, right? But he was like, dog, like, be eccentric, be like over the top, be dramatic, and be the character. When you get on the stage, you shouldn't be yourself. Yourself is gone. You are that character. And like my friend, my friend who had played Donkey in Shrek last year, um for some reason his name was on the uh audition, on the role that I was auditioning for, which was, yeah, the police chief, right? For some reason. And he was, wait, no. No, this is we're talking about Aladdin. Yeah, but like, yeah, he was, but like, we're talking about Aladdin right now. But yeah, no, they asked him to audition again, even though his audition was extremely perfect. It wasn't I mean, I'm not the judge. I'm not the one who's casting. But yeah, his audition was incredible. But like, I guess they just wanted to just see again, obviously, to just be like, okay, let's check and stuff, right? But yeah, he was like, okay, just look at him and see how he's moving and being dramatic, and yeah, and stuff. And yeah, bro, he's right, dog. And so yeah, after Aladdin, he would we were hit with the, all right, who's all right, everybody who's trying to be the police chief, come on. And I was like, dog, I just auditioned for Aladdin, bro. Why you do this to me? you know and yeah. He says it, and at first I'm the only one to show up, and I'm like, mm-mm, 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 y'all not doing this to me, bro. Mm. I don't know. I think I have indigestion, bro. But yeah, no. But then eventually the others started coming, and again, like I said, like my friend who played Donkey last year, he came. He had auditioned for Aladdin, and his audition was incredible. His audition was great. His audition was